What's up guys, it's Alex, and the world of great wireless gaming mice can sometimes feel out of reach to a lot of gamers because of that high entry price tag. However, back in November of last year, Glorious shocked the market with the release of the Glorious Model O Wireless. Their first entry in the wireless gaming market appeared to come in at an insane value for what was being offered. And if you're in the market for upgrading your gaming mouse, this is something that should definitely be on your radar. So I've had this mouse for several months now since its release, and today we're gonna find out if it's still worth taking a look at in 2021. As of right now, Glorious is offering two models for this mouse, both in a matte black or a matte white option. Glossy models are soon to be coming in the future, according to what Glorious has said. Like I've said before, I've used this mouse for several months now, and I came from my favorite mouse, which was the Razer Viper Ultimate, and immediately the Model O felt very familiar, because it's practically the same shape as the Viper. This shape has become somewhat of a standard when it comes to gaming mice. And when judging a good wireless gaming mouse, one of the more important features you'll be looking for is how it feels in hand. Regardless if a mouse has a good sensor or perfect buttons, if it feels awkward in your hand, it can be an immediate turnoff when choosing a mouse. So Glorious played it safe by going with a mainstream shape, something that isn't crazy out of the ordinary and something that feels familiar to most mice. It feels comfortable in a variety of hand sizes and grip styles. They also went with a honeycomb design that, love it or hate it, does shed weight from this mouse. And when you're counting every single gram on a wireless mouse, being able to shut off that extra plastic is going to be able to get you to your target weight range. They're also doing this without compromising the frame, and the build quality is solid even with this type of shell. And what Glorious has done is pretty incredible. They've taken the Model O wired that came in at 67 grams and only added 2 grams to make this thing completely wireless. The extra 2 grams is coming in because of that onboard battery, and if you have any doubts about lightweight mice and you're thinking about getting into the lightweight mice wireless market, it can be an absolute godsend, especially for shooters where every little second and every little flick shot can count. I came from many heavy mice like the M65 Pro, the Logitech G502, and using mice that weigh over 100 grams to using mice that weigh under 70 grams makes a big difference. But for the most part, the Model O Wireless is about 5 grams lighter than the Viper, and my personal Viper didn't really feel any different from the Model O Wireless. So a 4-gram difference didn't feel like night and day. But back to the Model O. In real world usage, I actually found the buttons on this mouse to feel much more tactile and sharp than the buttons on the Razer Viper Ultimate. So hitting those 6 shots also came in with some sharp clicks. The buttons don't have as much side play, and even the side buttons are crispy. The scroll wheel is also light, and it feels much lighter and more pronounced, at the same time being quiet and smooth. This mouse does lack any sort of textured grip from the factory, but Glorious does offer grip tape that you can buy or opt in the future if you're interested in a grippier feel. So they give you the option. Whether or not you want to do it is up to you. And let's talk about the sensor now. The sensor is their in-house BAMF sensor. This sensor is using their own proprietary technology, which Glorious says was designed with power efficiency in mind. And in my experience, it happens to be as good as the best wireless sensors on the market. I haven't seen any negative issues with this sensor. There hasn't been any latency issues, any mouse skipping. It's been as good as the best. The sensor goes up to 19,000 DPI, 1000 Hertz polling rate. It has no perceivable input latency to my eye, and its power efficiency is about the standard on the market. Glorious is promising 71 hours with no RGB on, and it comes stock with 50% brightness, which is what I have left it on, and it gives me around 2 to 3 days of consistent usage without a problem, without running out. And setting it to 100% literally kills this battery. I wouldn't set the RGB to 100%, I think it's not worth it, and I think you're going to get really bad battery life. When you do need to charge this mouse, Glorious is including their USBC Ascended cable, and again, it's USB-C, which immediately beats the Razer Viper Ultimate that's using micro, and the G Pro Superlight, because for some reason, Logitech and Razer believe that USB-C is not the future. And it's, well, you know what? Let's move on. The cable they're using is lightweight and uses this trident style prong to grab onto the mouse when charging. And honestly, the fact that Glorious is including a USB-C cable on their mouse already one-ups other wireless mice that cost more than this mouse. Something to keep in mind, the USB-C cable will connect your mouse and allow you to charge the mouse, and we can get to the Glorious Core software, which isn't fully polished, but it's got promise to be a good mouse software. It's pretty minimal, but it allows you to view your battery life percentage, adjust your typical mouse settings within the app, RGB controls, macros, performance settings. You get the gist of it. Overall, the performance with this mouse is on par with the best out there. And for the price, like guys, seriously, some of these mice are in the $120, $130, $150 price range. And this mouse coming in at $80 is just undercutting all these massive companies, and Glorious is bringing a really impressive product to the market. On top of the fact that Glorious has had a pretty good track record, they have had some quality control issues with the Model O at the beginning. I have seen that they have gotten better with the quality of the mice that they are now delivering to customers. Mouse shape is incredibly important, but also incredibly subjective. A better mouse is not necessarily going to make you a better gamer, but it can make the experience a lot more comfortable and consistent. Realistically, the Model O doesn't have any flaws that stand out, and it's only grown in popularity even without a massive marketing budget like you'd see on SteelSeries, on Razer, or on Logitech. So, this mouse offers an incredible bang for buck value. And honestly, the mice market is going to have to adapt to combat the pricing for performance you're getting with the Glorious Model O. Overall, that's been my 2 cents for the past couple months I've had the Glorious Model O. It's going to continue being my daily driver and replacing my Razer Viper Ultimate until Razer can come out with something that can stand up to that mouse. That's been everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you soon, guys.